I have some sympathy with the Amendment 19 moved by my old friend for Gloucester, and some sympathy for New Clause 1 and also Amendment 6. But the reason I can't vote for particularly New Clause 1 and Amendment 19 is because I think people outside of here have figured out what's really going on here. And as I said in the intervention, Madam Deputy Speaker, we are in the position we are in of having not left the European Union because there are people in here who got elected on a mandate and who stood up and said they intended to deliver the result, who never had any intention of delivering our exit from the European Union. They're scared of their electorates, yes, they're now scared of their selectorates, but they had no intention. So what they have done, Madam Deputy Speaker, is they have played for time. And exactly the same way my right honourable friend suggested a moment ago. And they want to play for time again, because they want to get us to 2020. And when we get to 2020, it then suddenly becomes, well, that referendum was in 2016. It's quite hard to continue to implement a mandate from 2016, roughly the length of an average parliament, in 2020. That's what's going on in here, Madam Deputy Speaker. And the people have figured it out. My constituents have figured it out, who went to the polls in 2016 and voted to leave the European Union by a margin of 67%, on the belief that their result was going to be implemented, because both sides told them that. They trotted along in the general election of 2017, and 93% of them went out and voted for two political parties who said they were going to implement the result. And they figured it out, as I said, Madam Deputy Speaker, that there are people in here who never have any intention of delivering on this result. Because what will happen is if we have another extension and something else comes back, there will be another reason why they can't quite bring themselves to vote for it, because their particular niche thing that they have selected, perhaps having never mentioned it before, will suddenly now be the block on why they can't quite get themselves across the line. I'm sick of it, Madam Deputy Speaker. The people are sick of it, and they have figured it out. And the reason we're in the position we're in now, that when people talk about compromise, is because we've had this perverse alliance. We've had this perverse alliance of people who never wanted us to leave the European Union, Remainers, voting with the minority of people on my side who actively want us to have a no-deal Brexit. They've trotted through the lobbies together, whilst people like me, who came into this House in 2010, absolutely determined to get us out of the European Union, have done exactly what was asked of us and is being demanded of us now, have compromised, have looked at that withdrawal agreement and said, you know what, it's not perfect, but I respect the promise I made to my constituents. I respect the minority of my constituents who also voted Remain and therefore expect me to represent them as well. And that's why I have compromised and voted for that deal on 3 occasions. I voted for a Norway option and an EFTA option on 4 other occasions. And the same people who lecture us repeatedly about how we need to compromise to get us across the line are the very same people, not all of them, but many of them, who trotted through the lobbies to kill that deal on 3 occasions and to kill the indicative votes on those 4 occasions. And Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I have to ask the question as well, when did it become the case that people who campaigned for Remain get to tell people who voted Leave what it is they voted for? Yeah. When did it become acceptable for them to say, no, these Leave voters, who I don't fully understand because I was on the wrong side of the debate and on the wrong side of my constituents, they didn't vote for no deal. I received an email from a constituent of mine last night called Kirsty, and she posed this question to me. And she said, why do these people who got the referendum result wrong, were on the wrong side, get to say why I voted? She said, I know why I voted Leave, and I'm prepared to have a no deal. And she signed off saying, she said, Kirsty, under 40, not a racist, and quite well educated. Because that's what we've been told, isn't it, throughout, that if you feel that you want a no deal, then obviously you're just a stupid, thick, racist northerner. And people have seen this. They're sick of it. We are sick of it. So I will not support any amendment that allows a further extension for this, because I know what's going on here. Yeah. I know, and my constituents know what's going on. Play it long, play for time, say you respect the result. You have no intention of respecting the result. They haven't respected the result in March of this year. They didn't in April. They're not going to on October the 31st, and you can sure as damn tell it, Madam Speaker, they ain't going to on January the 31st either.
Yeah.